Hey guys, Ernest here, and today we're going to talk about weapon-mounted lights on handguns. Over the last several years, weapon-mounted lights have become extremely popular on handguns. It seems to be the very vogue thing to do is to carry your concealed handgun with a weapon-mounted light. There are some key factors that you need to consider if you're going to make that decision. The very first thing that I want to make clear is a weapon-mounted light on your handgun does not replace a handheld light that you carry with you. Now, why is that the case? The first reason is you do not get to draw your handgun out every time you need to use a flashlight. There's a lot of reasons you may need a flashlight that drawing your handgun would be a bad situation. You don't look for your keys. You don't navigate around in the dark with a handgun in your hand. So the handheld light is still a key piece of equipment that you need to have on you at all times. Couple of factors about a weapon-mounted light that you need to understand as well. Size is going to equate to power or brightness just like it does on a handheld light. So when you're trying to be small or smaller light like this Surefire here, it's going to be capable enough, but not nearly as bright as this full-size Surefire light. It's small, fits in a holster well, and it'll get the job done, but not nearly as capable as a much larger light. So you're going to have to compromise on what is going to work for you. The second key factor that you need to think about is activation. How does that light turn on? Because if you're going to use it in a defensive shooting situation, you need it to come on immediately. It should not be something that you have to fumble with. So you're going to need to spend a lot of time practicing with the activation switches on your light to make sure you can do that quickly and under duress. One example of a activation source that works really well is this DG switch like on this Surefire light. All I have to do is grip the gun and the light turns on. There are some disadvantages there though. Number one is these are susceptible to not working. They can get damaged and you grip and you think the light's going to turn on and it doesn't turn on. So you still need to be able to turn on using the backup switches. And number two, for some hand sizes, when you grip the gun or grip the switch, it may not turn on as reliably as you think it will. So you're going to need to live fire with this to make sure that it turns on all the time. It may not be as reliable as you're expecting or need it to be. And live fire and practice is the only thing that's going to prove that out for you. Another key consideration is your holster. If you're going to carry this gun with a weapon-mounted light on it, you need a quality holster that's designed to fit that gun and that flashlight. So make sure you make good decisions there. There's some quality holster manufacturers out there that some just fit the flashlight and will fit a large variety of handguns. But there's also a lot of other ones that were specific to the gun. They tend to be smaller and more comfortable. A weapon-mounted light may not be right for everyone, and don't feel like you're forced into or less capable without one. If you've got a handheld light, chances are it's going to be on and identifying your threat before you draw your gun. So there's no problem with having a handheld light to be your primary, and when you draw your handgun, use the two in conjunction with each other and not concern yourself with the weapon-mounted light. The final thing that I want to mention is the brightness on a weapon-mounted light is more important than it is a handheld light. You have to remember that you can't just point a gun at anybody when you want to look at them or identify them as a threat. So having a very bright weapon-mounted light is key because you can point it at the ground or at the ceiling, and the splash from that bright light will help you see and identify that potential threat to make sure that you don't commit a safety violation and do something that is extremely unsafe, like pointing a handgun at somebody that doesn't deserve it. There's no doubt that having a weapon-mounted light on your handgun increases its capabilities because you can hold on to it with two hands, and it is almost the same as shooting in the daytime. But there's also some important considerations and decisions that you need to make before you start carrying a weapon-mounted light on your gun. It does not replace your handheld light. So if you choose to carry with a weapon-mounted light, you need to make sure that you train a significant amount of time to make sure that you know how to effectively use that light in the dark. So guys, whatever decision you make sure you train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.